Rowland, the Rector of the Board of Trustees and a graduate of West Hampton College and the School of Business. It's wonderful to see all of you here to welcome Dr. Ronald A. Crutcher as the University of Richmond's next president. Dr. Crutcher was elected by a unanimous vote at a special meeting of the board last week. We are thrilled to have him as our next president, and we look forward to working with him in the coming years on behalf of the university. Many of the trustees have joined us here today, and I would ask them to stand. Truly been my great pleasure to serve with this group of people. I also want to recognize the Presidential Search Committee. It was a privilege for those of us from the board who served on the committee to work with this outstanding group of faculty, staff, students, and alumni. The committee could not have been more dedicated to this university or ensuring its excellence. I can personally attest to a very high bar this group set for candidates and finalists for the role of Richmond's president. I'm especially grateful to the co-chairs Allison Weinstein and George Weldy for their outstanding leadership. I would ask the members of the search committee here to stand and please join me in thanking them. The board and I are delighted to welcome the Crutcher family to the Richmond family. Ron Crutcher is joined here today by his wife, Dr. Betty Neal Crutcher, and their daughter, Sarah Crutcher. Will Betty and Sarah also please stand? I hope you all have had a chance to read about Ron Crutcher's very impressive record of leadership and accomplishment through the information distributed by email and available on the website. I should note that the website has seen more than 10,000 visits since Monday, and more than 100 messages of welcome and congratulations were sent to Dr. Crutcher in the 24 hours after our announcement of his election. I'm delighted that you all share the board's enthusiasm. I will not review his record in detail, but rather I want to highlight the particular ways in which Dr. Crutcher is such a wonderful fit as our next president. At the beginning of the academic year, 250 of you attended meetings on campus to provide your input to shape the presidential search. Another 200 submitted comments via the website. The Board of Trustees had our own conversation about the search. We put all of these perspectives together, faculty, staff, students, alumni, the board, and we found great clarity and remarkable consistency in what we wanted. We wanted a demonstrated academic and administrative leader, one with strong intellect, a passion for higher education, and a rich appreciation for the liberal arts and our professional schools, a commitment to excellence in teaching, research, scholarship, and the creative arts, a deep understanding and commitment to students, achievement in advancing diversity in its many forms, a commitment to educating active citizens, a commitment to competitive success in intercollegiate athletics and to academic achievement of student athletes, a strong leader who is also collaborative and a consensus builder, the ability to engage and inspire alumni to be active participants in the life of the university, an enthusiastic and effective communicator of Richmond's story, and a national thought leader in higher education. Now that's a tall order, but we found that all in Ron Crutcher. As president of Wheaton, provost of Miami of Ohio, and the leader of two of the finest musical programs in the country, and in his own distinguished achievements in teaching as a chamber musician, Dr. Crutcher has demonstrated his leadership in all of these areas that we identified as important. He is truly passionate about education and about the opportunity for the most talented young people to achieve their full potential. He is deeply invested in student success, and he and Betty personally mentor hundreds of students at Wheaton. He is a leading national voice on the importance of liberal arts education. He himself is a global citizen who has studied, lived, and performed around the world. He and Betty likewise immerse themselves deeply in the local community of which their institution is part. At Wheaton, Dr. Crutcher helped the institution achieve ambitious goals while successfully navigating the economic challenges all of higher education has faced in recent years. Innovative academic programs were added, including neuroscience, bioinformatics, and business and management. Students secured prestigious honors, including Truman, Marshall, Goldwater, and Rhodes scholarships. And Wheaton consistently ranks among the top Fulbright producers among liberal arts colleges. He also augmented intercollegiate athletic facilities and resources, and student athletes saw significant competitive and academic success. He tirelessly told the story of its students and faculty in Boston and around the country. He engaged a remarkable proportion of the alumni in supporting the institution and in exceeding ambitious fundraising goals for academic facilities, scholarships, and other crucial areas. Personally, Ron is known for his integrity, intellect, energy, warmth, fairness, clarity, and collaboration. We on the board and the search committee are very much happy that we were able to get to know Dr. Crutcher during the process, and we know you will enjoy getting to know him as well. I look forward to working with him and with all of you in the coming years to build upon Richmond's remarkable foundation. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Ron Crutcher to you.
Thank you, Pat, and thanks to all of you for that warm welcome. Good afternoon. It is such an honor for me to stand here before you today as the next president of the University of Richmond. Betty and I have been so warmly welcomed into this remarkable community on this beautiful campus. We're both thrilled, and we have very much enjoyed introducing our daughter, Sarah, to what will become our new home. We've also received so many kind messages from those of you here today, as well as spiders from literally all around the world. Before I go any further, I want to recognize Dr. Betty Neal Crutcher, my spouse, partner, and best friend, and our daughter, Sarah Elizabeth. Pat Rowland has already introduced them to you. I'm eternally indebted to them for their love and support. I also want to thank my peer mentor and good friend, Dr. Alvin Scheckschneider, and his wife, Virginia, and daughter, Elena, for being here with us today. They're here from Virginia. They're here from Virginia. I want to thank all of those who helped to plan this event and the reception to follow, where I look forward to talking to each of you. Betty and I know all too well what's involved in organizing events like this, from facilities to communications and catering, and we're very, very grateful. Thanks also to Keith Gill and the basketball teams for lending us your court. I realize there is a game tomorrow and the coaches might have had other plans for the court this afternoon, so I promise not to talk too long. I'm very grateful to Pat Rowland, the Presidential Search Committee, and the Board of Trustees for their support and for the opportunity to talk to them about Richmond over the past several months. There is so much that is compelling about the university that drew me here, as I will describe. And certainly, the enormously impressive faculty, staff, students, alumni, trustees, and emeriti that I met through this process played an incredibly influential role. They are outstanding ambassadors for this university, and the dedication that this institution inspires is so clearly evident. I've been a great admirer of President Ayers and his leadership for several years, so it's also been a great pleasure for Betty and me to spend time with him and Mrs. Ayers. They have welcomed us to the President's home and shared their wisdom and experience with him. They have both been very gracious. Now, I've had the privilege of being part of a diverse range of higher education institutes over the course of my career, from highly specialized conservatories and schools of music to large comprehensive universities and, most recently, a liberal arts college. In many ways, the University of Richmond represents the very best that those institutions have to offer. Indeed, Richmond represents the very best that American higher education has to offer. Now, I realize that's quite a statement, but think about it for a moment. First, this is a place committed to academic excellence and to teaching excellence, to recruiting and retaining gifted faculty and the most promising students, and to intensive collaboration between those faculty and students. It is a place where faculty and staff take their roles as mentors to our students very seriously. And that's something that's incredibly important to both me and Betty. I'll come back to that topic in a moment. Second, this is a place deeply committed to opportunity, to providing access to the most talented young people regardless of their background or financial circumstances. As you well know, Richmond is one of a very small number of institutions in the United States that are both need-blind in admission and meet the full demonstrated need of admitted students. This is an exceptional commitment on the part of this community, the board, and those who have made possible the university's remarkable endowment. Richmond is truly a national leader in this area. Third, there is a remarkable spirit of collaboration here across the institution. The pride in the identities of the individual schools is quite clear, certainly, but there is also a shared sense of purpose and of common aspirations. This is so evident in the way you speak of the Richmond Promise and in what you have all achieved together in envisioning and implementing that plan. Richmond has a diversity of a larger institution, yet a clear sense that all are part of one community. That is an exceptionally strong foundation on which this community can continue to build together. Finally, Richmond has a wonderful combination of pride and possibility. You have accomplished so much over the course of your history and in recent years. But this is obviously not a complacent community. That was evidenced in Mr. Robbins' vision that Richmond would, quote, become the finest small private university in the nation. That is evidence in your excelling not only in the liberal arts, but also in an undergraduate business education, in creating the nation's first school of leadership studies, in the opportunities SPCS provide non-traditional students, and in the law school's increasing recognition among top-tier schools. It is evident in your successfully competing for the very best students and successfully competing at the highest level of intercollegiate athletics, in your constant innovation in the curriculum, weaving together academic and co-curricular life, in your commitment to ensuring a diverse and inclusive university community, and in your emphasis on shaping citizens for the local community as well as for the global community. In my conversations with you, what comes through most clearly, in addition to the dedication I mentioned earlier, is your sense of possibility for this university. And I very much look forward to working with you as we continue to move the university forward over the next few years. Now, I've told you a little bit about what drew me to you. And what I'd like now is to share with you a little bit about my own background and who I am. I began playing the cello at the rather late age of 14. Elizabeth Potiger, a professor at Miami University, heard me perform a Bach suite in a competition on her campus. I'd been playing the cello for only 8 months at that point. This chance encounter, in many ways, set the course of my life. She offered to teach me free if my parents would transport me 35 miles from Cincinnati, Ohio to Oxford, Ohio. Now, it may sound like a little trip, but let's say it was harder than it actually sounds. It meant I had to travel 3 hours every day, leaving at 7:20 on Saturday and coming back at 6 o'clock. I was also fortunate to have been raised in a household where my parents wanted us to have the very possible, the very best opportunities that we could have, and who were very supportive and loved us unconditionally. So subsequently, after studying with Liz Potiger for 3 years, I received one of the first alumni merit scholarships to attend Miami University as an undergraduate student. The liberal education foundation I received there made possible and enriched so many of the experiences I have had in my life as an educator, musician, leader, husband, father, and friend. As a result, my lifelong passion became ensuring opportunity, fostering an engaging educational culture with a liberal education core in which all students can thrive, and supporting close faculty and student collaboration. I think you can see why I am drawn to a place like the University of Richmond. I know that here experiences like mine with Professor Potiger are lived by your students year by year by year by year. And I fully appreciate the time, care, and determination that such intensive engagement requires on the part of both the faculty and the students. As I have said elsewhere, the principles that animate this academic community are the principles that have animated my work throughout my life. And so, I feel very much at home here. It will be my privilege to work closely with all of you to shape a shared vision for Richmond's future, and to ensure that we continue to embody the very best that American higher education has to offer. Thank you all very much.
To invite Betty to join us on stage, along with Natalie Ivers and Brad Groves, who are the presidents of the West Hampton and Richmond Student Government Associations. I believe that Natalie and Brad have some gifts and some words of welcome for the Crutchers to the university community.
On behalf of the students, we would like to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Crutcher and his family to the University of Richmond community.
You with some gifts.
All right.
Thank you, Natalie and Brad, and thanks to all of you for joining us today to welcome the Crutchers. I hope you will now join us for a reception on the concourse level and a chance to individually say hello to the Crutchers. What the ushers will do is direct you to the exits. We'd like you to go up and out of your sections and into the concourse, and that's where the reception will be. Thank you very much.